Hey, how's it going, everyone? Brad here from West Coast Motorcycle Adventures. I've been thinking about trading in the Yamaha TW200 for a bigger bike. And I've decided for now, I think I'm just going to stick with the TW200. So today I'm going to take you guys for a ride, tell you some of the reasons why I was thinking about trading in the TW, tell you some of the bikes I was thinking about trading it in for, and then I'll tell you guys why I've decided to ultimately stick with the TW for now. So let's get started here by pulling out the choke and getting it started. So one of the reasons why I would like to trade in the TW is it's got the carburetor. And here in Canada, I cannot buy ethanol-free gas. So if I don't take the TW out for a ride frequently, my carb will clog because of the ethanol. So that's one of the reasons why I'd like to trade it in, maybe for something with fuel injection. So put my gear on here, take you for a ride, and then I'll tell you some of the other reasons why I want to trade it in and the bikes that I would like to trade it for. So let's do this. Alright, one of the other reasons why I was thinking about trading in the TW for a bigger bike is fuel range. And I know I made a video about this before, and everybody, says the same thing. Pack extra fuel or get a Clark tank. I like the look of this tank. I would never put a Clark tank on here. And I've been looking at the portable ones, but they're only like a liter and a half. I mean, that's not going to get me much further. So it would be nice to have, longer fuel range. But anyway, away we go here. So one of the other reasons why I was thinking about trading in my TW is I like to ride. And I like to ride a lot. And this bike has very short service intervals. It's 6,000 kilometers between service for the valve adjustment. So every 3 months or 4 months, I got to bring this bike into the shop to do a valve adjustment. I know many of you out there probably say, learn how to do it yourself, and maybe I will, but for now I got to bring it into the shop and pay. It's cheap, it's only like $200, but still it's every 6,000 kilometers, so that's a bit of a pain. And another thing is, Here on Vancouver Island. Going that way is south, going that way is north. Now, going north is okay because you can take the highway that's top speed of 90, and this bike does just fine, top speed 90 kilometers an hour. But going that way, you hit some spots that hit 110. And you know, this bike will do 110, but it's not fun doing 110 on this bike. 100, it'll do 100 nicely. But you know, you start getting South Island where the drivers are a little bit, let's say rushy. It gets a little bit busy down there. Yeah, it's someplace you don't really want to be going under the speed limit. You know, you kind of like everybody's doing 120, and you know, if you're puttering along at 100 kilometers an hour, I think that's dangerous, especially when you don't have enough oomph to get out of the way. Yeah, those are some of the things that I don't like about this T-Dub. So I'm going to take you guys someplace else. I'm going to tell you guys some of the bikes that I was planning on trading it in for. All right, so some of the bikes that I was looking to trade this T-Dub in on were a Yamaha Tenere 700, a Kawasaki KLX 650, and a Honda NX 500. So some of the criteria that these bikes had to meet where they had to be at least 40% off-road ability, at least. So I was looking when I was looking at the Tenere, and I had my eye on the Tenere the longest. The off-road capabilities of the Tenere are more than what I would need. The only problem that I could see, or a few problems with the Tenere I could see, were its weight. And it's you know, top heavy, which, you know, has everything to do with the weight, and just the overall size of that bike. For, you know, everyday riding, it would definitely be over biked, right? It would be like commuting on a full suspension mountain bike over a commuter bike, right? Like it's just too much bike for the kind of riding that I do. You know, and then this bike is way underbiked. If you want to go the other way, this bike here is very, very underbiked for what I do. So I felt like the Tenere was way overbiked for me. So that brought me to the KLX 650. And then, of course, you know, same thing. You know, you got a really heavy motorcycle that is certainly capable of off-road, half the price of the Tenere. but still a very heavy bike. And of course, there's not one here on Vancouver Island for me to go take a look at. So I can't even throw my leg over one to see what it feels like. So that's kind of put the stop to the KLX 650 right there. So, and then that brought me to the Honda NX 500, which, you know, is a very, very nice bike. But I just fear that with the NX 500, unless I had some more off-road oriented tires on it, you can't even buy a bash guard from what I've been able to find. So it's very limited when you know, maybe the gravel hits a little bit of a quad track and I'd have to turn around. So that kind of stopped me there from those three bikes. And so that brings me back to this bike right here and why I've decided to keep it. So we'll carry on here, ride a little bit more, and I'll tell you guys why I have decided to keep the Yamaha TW200. So here we go. So, where do I start? Let's start with criteria. Off-road capabilities, check. On-road capabilities, check. Easy to maintain, check. Reliable, check. Fast enough. If I push it, check. Fuel range. I could buy some fuel, carry some fuel. I don't really want to do that. Check. Fun as hell. Check. I cannot beat the TW. There was nothing on the market that came close to this bike. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. The Tenere is too big. Look where I am. Do you think I could pack a Tenere out of where I just put my TW? No, I'm just gonna fucking push this thing backwards, no sweat. You know, this is, you know, the KLX, same thing. It's too heavy. It's a big bike. You know, and then of course, I'd be stuck over here, I guess, if I had the NX. No, it's probably not that bad, but let's face it, the NX isn't an off-road bike. Yeah, there's nothing I could buy. And then, so the final thing is I would constantly, for the rest of my life, want to buy another TW. So, pointless for me to trade this in. Nothing wrong with me, you know, saving a few bucks, you know, and buying myself an old KLX or something like that to beat on. But, I'm going to keep my TW forever. This is a forever bike, this TW. So, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Something a little bit different. And have a nice day. Go ride your TW.